involved when you're making an album. You got producers, you got artwork, you got engineers, you got, A&Rs, you got features, you might be paying live musicians. There's a lot of people. I can't speak for whoever, what they got paid or didn't get paid. I got paid. So let's put that to bed. Let's put the narrative that Shady didn't pay the group. Well, I know I got paid. See what I'm saying? So that's one. But I'm glad he said that he dipped off, because my original point is, now we could talk about certain stuff. Mentally, he bounced. He left the label. He left Slaughterhouse. But he didn't communicate that with us. If we brothers, we supposed to sit down at the table and talk. Communication run the nation. We know that. We supposed to sit down and talk. Because if you don't let us know that you out mentally, you in a space where this ain't working for me no more, and you disappear, we still thinking that it's still a group. We still thinking that there's a chance that the album is still coming out. We still believing that, there's a way to fix things or any problems, or, and we still working. You know what I'm saying? We still flying out to Detroit, flying to New York. For me, leaving Cali, putting in work in the studio for an album that's never going to come out because Joe already left mentally. He just didn't tell nobody. If he would have told us, I would have been like, all right, cool, well, shit. No need for me to go flying out to Detroit and to New York and having all these meetings and conference calls and doing all this shit, trying to make sure that the ball is moving on Slaughterhouse, Glass House, whatever. There's no need. He's not in. He's not feeling it. Cool. But he didn't do that. And I'm glad he admitted that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. So, anyway, me and Royce put together a lot of music for Slaughterhouse that y'all never heard. You know what I mean? We put a lot of music together. We met up in Detroit. All of us were supposed to be in Detroit. It ended up being just me and Royce. And so we said, you know what? Maybe they'll come around later. We about to just go ahead and dig in, and we put together a bunch of records that we could potentially add to Glass House, because Glass House was getting dated, and a bunch of records that we could use for potential EPs or mixtapes, just to give y'all music. We put that work in the dead of winter. You know what I'm saying? In Heaven Studios. Working all night, round the clock. You know what I mean? Away from my crib. And that's the thing. It's like I'm working round the clock, but my guy, he not mentally invested no more. You feel me? So since he not mentally invested no more, it's kind of hard. We not getting nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, man. This phone wilding, man. Hold on. Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad that he admitted that, because communication is key. You know what I'm saying? Communication is key. Hold on, man. What's for a while? I don't know. This shit is wilding. Anyway, communication is key. You know what I'm saying? So I'm real glad that he admitted that. You know what I mean? Because that lets you know that there was no communication. You feel me? And I agreed with him on that. And he even said, by his own admission too, that we felt like he should have told us sooner. That's real talk. You know what I mean? That's real talk. He should have told us sooner. You feel me? What else? I'm also glad that he admitted that he had been feeling a certain way about M. I'm glad that he admitted that he was feeling a certain way about M for a while. You know why? Because y'all was coming at me, not just y'all, but certain people. Y'all was coming at me. A lot of people was coming at me saying, "Yo, why you taking up for M? You caping for M. You caping for Shady." I'm sorry, y'all. when Joe did his revival criticism. You know what I'm saying? See, I knew something that the public didn't know. I knew that there was something there that Joe had an issue with the label and M already. So when I heard the criticism, I knew Joe kind of crossed the line. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't want to expose that. I just took the shots while people was like, oh, you over there caping for Shady. He speaking his mind. No, listen, I know Joe. Joe is very skilled with communication. Very skilled. He would have just said, yo, this ain't for me. I don't like it. If things were good at Shady in his mind. But there was something else behind that critique. And that was my only thing. We could critique M, J, Pac, Biggie. We could critique their music all day. That's what we do. We talk rap. I don't have no problem with people having an opinion. That's crazy. You can have an opinion. That's fine. Everybody got their own opinion. No problems there. You feel me? But when I saw what he said about M's music, I knew that there was something else there, that he might have needed to sit down with M and communicate. Once again, that word, communicate. And that's why I said I disagree with the approach, because you got to separate that. You can't bring hostilities or frustrations or whatever it is into your critique of the man's music. That's not fair. So I'm glad on his podcast today that I listened to, and I enjoyed the podcast. First time listening to it in its entirety. Very entertaining. People thought I was throwing shots. I'm not. Very entertaining podcast. That's why he's doing so well. I'm glad that he admitted that he already felt a certain way about M long time ago. So you bringing them feelings into your critique of the revival. You might not have liked it, true indeed. You might not have liked it. But we all know you kind of went over the line. You know what I'm saying? Especially questioning his integrity, saying, oh, you know, he's using the plight of the black man in America or the Black Lives Matter movement. He's using that to ride a wave. You know what I mean? But once again, if we take a step back, everything he was doing on there was content. You kind of like complaining about content M, but then saying that he ain't had no content in 10 years. So that's why I disagree. But I'm happy that he admitted that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I freed everybody to tell the truth when I left the group. I feel like as soon as I left the group, I freed everybody to come speak their truth. You know what I'm saying? Because people were zipped up about it. I mean, you know. Communication. So look, let's talk about the contract. Let's talk about the contract. He said he wanted to get out of Shady, and we wasn't listening. Look, Joe. Don't talk to me on your verses on songs like Gone. Don't talk to me through the podcast. Call me. Sit down with me. Break bread with me. Let's talk about it like men. I don't want to be communicated with through music and you disappearing from the text threads and you not responding to phone calls. That's not how I rock, man. Sit down, let's talk. You know what I mean? Communication. Because guess what? If you wanted to get out of the Shady contract, Joe, now I'm talking to Joe. If you wanted to get out of the contract, Joe, all you had to do is sit down and say, yo, I'm not feeling this contract. That's what we do as businessmen. We in a business. All of us signed our names on that agreement. You sit down at the negotiation table with Paul M., Shady staff, Slaughterhouse and Slaughterhouse management, and you say, yo, I'm not feeling the situation. All right, Joe, what's happening? What's good? What's wrong with it? This is what's wrong with it. I'm not feeling it. And then we either try to fix the problems in there totally, then we figure out how to get to that phase. You feel me? But if you dip out by your own admission, if you dip out and you don't communicate with nobody, it's no way we're going to get to a solution. There's many solutions to problems. You might want to get out the contract. You might see getting out the contract is, I'm going to dip out, go ghost. I ain't going to call nobody, talk to nobody, barely. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to just say some wild shit, and it's going to blow up everything, and then we going to all be out the contract. That could be a strategy, right? But guess what else could be a strategy? Honor the agreement. Honor the agreement. If you got a 3-album deal with a record label, you know how you could get out that contract? By turning in 3 albums. Turn in 3 albums. You could get right out. Obligation over. Fans have music. Supporters have music. Why gotta blow up for us to get out a destructive way when we could have just turned in the music? We was making music like that. Real MCs making music like that. Ain't Yellow like on his 3rd album or something over there? Dog, look, we ain't dropped since 2012. You don't think we could have gave him 3 albums by 2016 and been here at a whole nother conversation right now, out of the contract, just like you wanted to be? It's different ways. It ain't the problem. It's how you react to the problem. It's all about how we view things. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say communicate. We could have probably resolved this. It wouldn't be no kamikaze Joe Budden diss right now. I guarantee that. And you wouldn't have your feelings that you got toward them right now. Just communicate. Look, man, I came from Death Row Records. If I could communicate and get negotiation points in my contract that I want on Death Row, you don't think we could do it on Shady? Now, there was a bunch of stuff he was saying, man. And like I said, some stuff I agree with. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff I agree with. He talked about me and him battling. He put that clip up there about me and him battling, right? It was all in fun. You know what I'm saying? It was all in fun. You know, Joe turned up. You know what I'm saying? Joe turned up and be real animated and stuff. And some of my homies like, yo, that nigga was talking loud to you. What's good? It's like, nah, that's just Joe, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how Joe communicate. You know what I'm saying? I'm different. You know what I mean? But on that battle, somebody told me he want to warm up for me to go to M. He said he want to warm up with me to go to M. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no warm up. You gonna have to bring it all. You know what I'm saying? But in a battle though, yo Joe, I'm not gonna let you get in my head, bro. I'm not gonna let you. I know what you doing. See, this is what happens when you put 2 people who are skilled and understand the game thoroughly versus each other. I know what you're doing, Joe. You trying to shift the conversation before the battle even starts. You trying to say that content is more valuable than rapidy rap bars, more valuable than syllable bars. So that way, people will already be in your favor when you come dropping all this content on me. You try to fix the fight before it even starts. But guess what, though? They both important. And I'm going to do both. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, that's hypothetical, man. I ain't finna... Joe ain't coming out of retirement, man. He ain't coming out of retirement. If I thought just simply sending him a diss record or make him come out of retirement and put the Slaughterhouse gang back together eventually on some sort of level, I would have did that a long time ago. I was behind the scenes working very, very hard. Y'all don't know this. I was taking flights to New York. I was working hard trying to piece that brand back together. You know what I'm saying? I was really trying. I mean, I got it tatted on my arms. I got the house on my hand with the pig. I got the Slaughterhouse logo right here. I got Slaughterhouse coming down here. This shit is real for me. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Oh, fly by night shit. This real for me. So, you know, I'm in it for real. But we hypothetical Crook versus Joe battle all the way along. You know, but since he like playing so much and loading up them clips, I'm just letting him know, don't come for me like you came for Drake. Don't do it. That's all I'm saying. Don't do it. You made a whole EP for that man. Don't